Well, tonight we are in conjunction with the NAMM show. We're having a special concert here at the Kanstul Factory. Now, the Kanstul Factory is just down the street, within 2 miles. I like to say the world of music comes to my front door. And so we decided, you know, we've got this great artist, Wallace Roney, that's playing our horn. We got to do something special. We got to bring him in here, and he's got a group that just won't quit. He's got a young cat on the drums, only 13. He's got a saxophone player, 17. I mean, these guys are going to just floor you when you hear them. So that's what we're doing. We're just, and Wallace, I says, Wallace, this is your show. So you play as long as you want.
I'm from Philadelphia, born 1960, North Philadelphia, where we're predominantly African Americans, but my particular place where we were living, a lot of the African Americans were into the racial equality and trying to better themselves and enlighten themselves. So they would, and the music that represented that was jazz. They also, of course, you had R&B and all the avenues of music, but the music that seemed to represent progression and progress and freedom was jazz. So that was heard in my house a lot, and my father's friends would come around and they all would listen over the weekend, bring the latest jazz record, and I was part of it. And I would listen with them from 2-3 years old and listening and loving the music and learning the intricacies of it, and that's how I started with loving jazz and loving music. And then I later started taking trumpet lessons at 6 years old, 7 years old, and took lessons from some very great teachers. I had Sigmund Herring as a teacher, and Langston Fitzgerald was a teacher of mine, and I also had Dizzy Gillespie and Clark Terry, who Clark taught me as much or more than most of the classical teachers taught me. And Dizzy taught me a lot of super technical things that nobody knew. And then, of course, as I became somewhat of a protege, I met Miles Davis and hung with him, and he was the most advanced trumpet artist I have ever encountered. And he was my idol from the beginning, and to be with a genius like him really put you in your course. Well, we look at everything you play special.
Right, I understand.
And there's
Any originals?
they're all originals. We probably might play one standard. We play originals.
Oh, okay.
You know, because we want to give people something they haven't heard. You know, it's good to play things that people have heard a lot, but it's also better. Well, everything is relative, so I don't want to say anything's better. But it's also good to have a point of view of adding to the music, and you only do that by playing new stuff. I brought my new quintet of what I think they're young geniuses. These guys, they're really trying to take the music further, which is what I look for. You know, try to have a more expansive view on the music. And I have my nephew who's 13 years old, and his name is KOJO Roney. And I have my saxophone player, he's 17, he'll be 18 in February. His name is EMILIO Modeste. And the piano player, Oscar Williams. And the oldest, or the youngest, however you want to look at it, is Curtis Lundy. He's a veteran of the band. He's played with Betty Carter and a few other people. And these guys really are special. They really click together as a unit and as individuals. So that's what I really love. people coming up need to be mentored and guided, you know. And in the case of music, and especially jazz, I think anybody that has something to offer should be able to pass it down. Not that people pass it down the same way. You know, like I said, Miles wasn't one to do it a certain way, but he did it another way, you know. With me, I definitely got it passed down musically. But sometimes just being there, or an encouragement, or putting music in front of people, you know, or making them exposed to this music and knowing the importance of the history of this music and its legacy and its where it has to continue, you know. I don't like the word preserve because preserve means it's dead. But taking it further and adding to it means there's more life left in this music. It's still vital. This horn is a Kanstul committee, and it's probably the best horn I've played since the old classic Martin committees, the ones that I have from Miles Davis and a few that I had also purchased. This really have the glorious tone and everything you want in a horn. You know, it has the response, it has the sound, intonation is flawless, you know, and it's just amazing.
Well, why don't you play a little bit and just show us?